like Tulsa. We know like the owners of the coffee shops. We do a group ride every year with a local bike shop in town. Our host house are volunteers for the race. They are corner marshals, and we just really try and integrate ourselves into those communities and like go to school visits and talk to people, because if you're just there and you're in their city and a lot of times some people are angry, you're shutting down their streets, you're adding more traffic, can be a little bit of an inconvenience. But if you're there like actually giving back to that community, they're much more open and perceptive and like receiving. And it just like encourages more women, more kids to be like, oh yeah, I could do that.
Humidity.
Humidity?
The constant wetness of when you're racing your bike.
No, the humidity in Tulsa is just like next level. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Like you're just sticky the second you go outside.
And you just end up wet and soaked, and you're so hot. And when you're getting ready to race too, we put ice packs down our backs and these nylons.
I was literally a dinosaur yesterday with like 2 huge ice socks in my back, like looking like a hunchback.
You're sweaty, you've got like ice water dripping down your back, you've got like maybe some ISO mix that you've accidentally squirted on yourself, so you're like sticky and gross.
So you're dripping with cold water down your back, but then it turns into this hot, mucky water and your chamois are soaking and it feels like you peed your pants.
Talking about gut ride. The whole heartburn feeling?
Yeah, gut rot. It's a lot of gut rot because all you're eating is gels and bread, and you're up trying to like go for your morning spin, and you have no groceries, so you're just eating whatever you can find. And then you definitely try to drink as much coffee as you can, some cold brew, some regular coffee, and then you realize that that's all you've had. Coffee sweats, a lot of coffee sweats. It's just a bit of a struggle. You're never on a proper schedule. And your body's always kind of mad at you.
The press of humans, like whether you're lining up at staging and there's like everyone's just like jiggling for position and they all just trying to like creep into your space just to get that few centimeters or that half or further forward. And then once the bike race starts, obviously there's people all around you like trying to take your wheel or be where you are. And then also the press of like the spectators, because they can be really raucous. And as great as it is to have them cheering you on, like sometimes they're pretty encroaching. Like the drunk, beer drinking, half naked, sweaty humans who are like fully G'd for the bike race and don't quite know where the pavement stops and the race course starts. So yeah, like the press of humans all around you, it becomes slightly claustrophobic.
You think of Tulsa Tough and it's impossible to not think about Crybaby Hill, which is the last day, but throughout the weekend you'll see grown men, like rather large adults, running around with these squirmy, crying baby masks on that are like 3 times the size of a normal human head. And it's completely disgusting and also amazing. Well, everybody who lives on Crybaby Hill puts up rather well, it seems like, with their front yards getting trashed. And there's a certain slimy texture that their grassy lawns take on with, hundreds of people trampling through them with cans of beer for like a 12-hour humid period. Definitely slimy. Heat and humidity density going up by a good like 5 degrees. When you come up the climb, that's fine. You're in like direct exposed sunlight, but then you'd go into this tunnel of people and you're already in like close to 100 degree with like whatever the highest, percentage of humidity is. And it would go up by like a good 10 notches when you're in this tunnel. Human humidity. Say it 5 times fast. A narrow start-finish straight. When you hear people riding on the feet of the metal fencing, the like ka-kong, ka-kong noise, that's like very scary and unnerving. It's very alarming, but it's just people trying to squeeze up too close to the fencing. And you hear that very terrifying, abrupt, loud metal noise on concrete of people trying to like squeeze up the outside.
When people are like bunchy and breaky and I just get so scared. Just, yeah, swarmy washing machine at the front of the race when people just like crash into each other for no reason kind of thing, just trying to get wheels.
You're riding well within herself here, but this peloton is relentless. Come on, Leanne Danzer, you're down to 3 to go.
Crashing.
I took a little bit too much of a risk there. Left wheel started to slide and then it caught traction again just enough to jerk me over to the left, which was enough to clip my foot out to that side. So I kind of sailed back into it with one foot out and then found my foot like right away, just like pedaled through it and caught it and kept going. And the moto came up to me and said, "Nice job." Because I was the last wheel at that point.
These courses are not easy, and you know, you try so hard to make it to the front of the pack where it's a little bit easier and a little bit more smooth, but by the time you get there, you're just gassed. And last night I felt like my head was going to explode because it was so hot and it was so hard. And yeah, there's no place to sit up or take a breath. You're always just trying to struggle to get up there and to find a little bit of reprieve.
Skin grime, and it's like the elbows, the behind the knees, like the fronts of your legs are all slimy from sweat and probably other people's sweat. Spitty face. Sometimes in the race you know that you have mad spitty face because you've been like drooling and trying to suck some big deep breaths in and you can just feel it going down the side of your face. That's nice.
Drippy power braid.
You're soaking wet.
It touches that ice sock.
You're cruising at 25 and your hair is just like
Dripping.
dripping on
Yeah.
I think sacrifice is another big thing about bike racing. You pretty much ride off your whole day because you get up, you're thinking about the bike race. You go for a little spin to try and make your legs work for the bike race. And then you forego this like glorious lunch because you're freaking out about whether or not you're going to get enough carbs for the bike race. And then before you know it, you're lining up with your sweaty press of humans and you're doing the bike race. And then it's midnight and you're like, dang, the day is gone. We're talking jail.